All right, so get this. We're going deep today, diving into this vocabulary list.
A vocabulary list.
Yeah, but it's not just any list. It's 300 English words that are like handpicked for everyday use. 300. Can you imagine?
Wow, like 300. That's a lot. But, I mean, are we talking about just random words here, or is there some kind of system to this madness?
Oh, there's definitely a system. This list is organized. It's like, it's all about giving you the words you need for different situations, to really help you navigate daily life.
Makes sense. So, like, what kind of situations are we talking about?
Well, everything. Like, basic communication, home and family stuff, work, even travel. And get this, the source material is a podcast script for a whole hour-long lesson.
Oh, wow. A whole hour.
I know, right? But don't worry, we're not going to subject you to a whole hour of vocabulary drills.
Well, that's a relief.
Our deep dive here is all about, extracting the good stuff, the most useful bits from this list.
Sounds good. So where do we start?
Well, how about we kick things off with basic communication? I was looking through the list earlier, and I noticed they really emphasize politeness, which I think is really interesting. Like, there are phrases like, excuse me, and could you repeat that?
Oh, yeah, those are important. Like,
Yeah.
think about it. In English-speaking cultures, politeness is a big deal. It could really make or break an interaction,
Totally. And using those phrases shows that you respect the other person, that you're being considerate.
Exactly. It just helps everything go smoother, avoids misunderstandings.
Oh, definitely. It's not just about knowing the words. It's about understanding the culture, like how those words are used in real life.
Exactly. So it's next.
Okay, so moving on to home and family, which, is pretty universal, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But what I thought was cool was that it's not just about like naming family members. It goes beyond that. It includes everyday objects and even chores like, vacuum, iron, stuff like that.
Interesting. So it's like a snapshot of daily life, almost.
Yeah, and I think that's where things start to get really interesting, like those specific chores, they can kind of tell you something about a culture, about what they value. Like if someone apologizes that their house is messy because they haven't had time to vacuum, that kind of tells you something about their priorities, right?
That's a good point. It's those little details that can really give you insights into a culture. Okay, so we've covered the basics. We've peeked into the home. What about work and business?
Oh, work and business is a good one. I was surprised to see that it focused more on action verbs, like negotiate, approve, decline, not so much about job titles.
Oh, interesting. So instead of just learning the names of different jobs, it's more about giving you the tools to actually communicate effectively in a professional setting.
Right, and that can be really powerful. Like imagine being able to confidently negotiate a salary or assertively decline a task you don't want to do.
That's a great point. I like that. It's about empowerment.
Exactly. Now, how about we shift gears a little and talk about travel and transportation?
Okay, yeah, let's explore that.
So this section is all about giving and receiving directions. Key phrases like turn left, intersection, that kind of stuff. It's super practical.
Oh, yeah. Because who hasn't gotten lost in a new city, right?
Exactly. So instead of just knowing how to say like airport, you can actually navigate your way around, ask for directions. I don't know. I just think it's so cool. Like you can imagine yourself confidently asking for directions in, any country.
Right. It's like a universal language for getting around those basic navigation concepts. Turn left, go straight. Doesn't matter where you are, those principles are the same.
Yeah, like a map in your language toolbox. Speaking of things that are universal, let's dive into food and shopping.
Ah, yes. Everyone eats and shops, right?
Exactly. And this category is all about, those essential words and phrases you need to navigate those experiences. Like imagine yourself in a bustling market trying to like haggle for a souvenir.
Oh, I love haggling.
And having those words at your fingertips like bargain, discount could really come in handy, might even save you some money.
Absolutely. And I think what makes this list even better is that they've sprinkled in these mini challenges throughout.
Oh, the mini challenges, yeah. I love those.
They're so great because they encourage you to actually use the words, not just passively read them.
Totally. It's like, putting those words into action, making them real.
Right, exactly. You learn by doing, right?
Exactly. It's like, you're not just learning these words in isolation. You're actually thinking about how you can use them in your daily life.
And that's what makes it stick. It's not just memorization. It's about application.
Oh, I totally agree.
So I think we've covered a lot of ground here already, and we're just getting started. This deep dive is really showing us how much you can do with even a limited set of words, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think what's really cool is that it's not just about, expanding your vocabulary. It's about understanding the culture, the nuances of the language, and how to actually use these words in real life situations.
Absolutely. It's about communication, connection, and empowerment.
So we've talked about basic communication, home life, work, even travel. It's amazing how much ground this list covers, huh?
It really is. But there's more, right? Like, what about our social lives?
Oh, right, the social life category. Yeah, what's in there?
Well, it's all about, making plans with friends, going to events, that kind of stuff.
Sounds fun. So, what kind of words are we talking about? Party.
Yeah, definitely. Party, celebrate. Oh, and invitation, RSVP, all those essential phrases for navigating the social scene.
Okay, so all the basics are covered.
But it's not just about, showing up at a party. There are words like agree, disagree, words that help you actually engage in conversation.
Right, right. So it's about actually connecting with people on a deeper level, not just small talk.
Exactly. And speaking of connecting, what about emotions?
Emotions. Oh yeah, happy, sad, angry, the whole shebang, right?
Exactly. And being able to express your emotions clearly and accurately is so important, don't you think? Like for healthy relationships, clear communication.
Yeah, definitely. But isn't there a difference between knowing the basic emotion words and actually being able to express those more subtle feelings? Like there's sad and then there's devastated.
You're right. There's definitely a nuance there. And that's what's cool about this list. It goes beyond those basic terms and gives you a wider vocabulary to, well, kind of paint a more detailed picture of your emotional landscape.
I like that. It's like having more colors on your palette, right?
Exactly. It's about expressing yourself more fully, more accurately. All right, ready to move on.
Sure, what's next?
How about health and wellness? It's a good one, all about taking care of ourselves, both physically and mentally.
Okay, that makes sense. So exercise, diet, oh, and sleep. We all need more sleep, right?
Huh, true. And then there are the more practical terms like doctor, hospital, medicine. Those are important to know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're not feeling well, you need to be able to communicate that, right?
Right. It's about being able to talk about your health, your concerns, and advocate for yourself.
Yeah, it's about taking ownership of your health journey. What really strikes me about this category is how it kind of highlights the connection between our physical and mental health. It's not just about taking care of one or the other, it's about recognizing how they're intertwined.
I agree. And having the vocabulary to talk about these things can make a big difference.
Definitely. All right, so we've talked about how to express ourselves socially, how to talk about our emotions, and how to take care of our health. What else is there?
Well, how about we step outside for a bit and explore nature and environment?
Ooh, that sounds refreshing.
It's a fun one. Words like tree, flower, ocean, mountain, all those beautiful things.
Yeah, so you can describe your favorite places in nature.
Right. But it also goes a bit deeper than that. There are words related to, well, environmental issues.
Oh, right, like pollution, climate change.
Exactly. It's about being able to understand and discuss the challenges we face and hopefully contribute to finding solutions.
It's interesting how language kind of evolves with the times, right? New words are created all the time to reflect what's happening in the world.
Exactly. Language is a living thing, always changing and adapting.
You know what's really amazing to me? It's how much of this list covers. We've gone from basic greetings to talking about emotions and big issues like health and the environment, and it's all within just 300 words.
It's pretty incredible, right? It really shows you the power of language, how even a relatively small set of words can really open up a whole world of communication.
Totally. It's you don't need to know thousands and thousands of words to be able to express yourself and connect with people.
Exactly. This list is more like, a foundation, a starting point. And from there, you can just keep building and expanding your vocabulary.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's a journey, not a destination, right?
Exactly. Now, before we wrap up, I wanted to touch on those mini challenges again. I think they're such a cool feature of this list.
Oh, the mini challenges. Yeah, I love those. They're so fun and they really get you thinking about how to use the words.
Yeah, they make it so much more interactive than just, passively reading a list of words. It's like, okay, now take this word and use it in a sentence, make it real.
Yeah, it's like a little workout for your brain.
Exactly. So for our listener out there, what would you say is the biggest takeaway from this deep dive? What should they remember?
That's a good question.
Well, I'd say it's this. You now have a pool box filled with 300 really versatile words. And these words can help you do so much, from having everyday conversations to, expressing your deepest thoughts and feelings. It's about communicating more clearly, more confidently.
Yeah, it's about being able to truly connect with people on a deeper level.
Exactly. And the best part is, this is just the beginning. The journey of learning a language, It never really ends.
Oh, definitely. There's always more to learn, more to explore. It's a lifelong adventure.
It really is. And I encourage our listener to, just keep exploring, keep discovering new words, and keep pushing those boundaries.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, to experiment, to have fun with language.
Exactly. The world is full of words waiting to be discovered. And remember, every interaction, every conversation is a chance to learn and grow.
So true. Well, I think that about wraps up our deep dive into 300 English words for everyday life. It's been a fun journey.
It really has. We hope you've enjoyed it and, feel inspired to put these words to good use.
A huge thanks to our listener for joining us today.
And until next time, happy learning.